Hello and welcome back to the TV Show Club. The club will talk about TV shows that we've been recently watching, viewing and enjoying. Let me know what you've been recently watching and enjoying, and if you've seen what I'm about to talk about, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. The Boys Season 4 is finally finished, and a weird season, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't necessarily get hooked by this season. I enjoyed the stuff that we got, but I also think that it was very much just a setup season for the final season, and we didn't really move forward and spent a lot of time with characters I wasn't necessarily interested in, as opposed to spending a lot more time with the main cast that I really want to. This might be probably my least favourite season of The Boys, I feel like. In terms of story that was told, I don't know, I just don't feel like it covered much. I think it got better towards the end, and then I was like, oh, it's finished. Just as it was getting going, just as I was falling back into it, it just ended. And that to me was just a little bit like, right, okay. The first 3 episodes being released all in one, I feel like was a bit of a waste of time. The first 3 episodes, nothing really happened. There was some I don't know, it almost put me off the season from there, and then it got better towards the end. Like I say, the last couple episodes were absolutely brilliant. I loved the final episode. The final episode was absolutely incredible. But at the same time, the series as a whole didn't do a whole lot. It spent a lot of time focusing on Hughie, on Frenchie, and I'm going to be honest, while I think it's cool to spend a little bit of time developing your side characters, and I know Hughie's a bit more of a main character, but I didn't really care for what was going on. I didn't care for Frenchie's relationship, the fact that he had this whole thing go off, and he got with the guy, and then he didn't get with the guy, and then he took himself to prison, and then, he's back with Kimiko like he was before. That whole route didn't really make sense to me. The storyline with Hughie and his dad, I didn't really care about it. I don't necessarily see any point of it. It's not changed Hughie as a character, it's not developed him in any sense of the word, so what was actually the point of it? It's not affected the story at all, and so it just sort of felt like a waste of time, and almost like a filler, a filler plot line to just get the season to a point where we can extend it to a 5th season. I feel like this show is very, very heavily carried by Homelander. I think Butcher has somewhat become unlikable as a character, and I know he's going through a lot of different things, and he's supposed to become unlikable going through Jeffrey Dean Morgan's perspective guy, but also at the same time, I loved Butcher in season 1 and 2, and I feel like just over time, he's got a little bit cliche and a little bit I don't know, you want him to do something else or just change a little bit. Homelander is brilliant, Anthony Starr is incredible, I love every scene with Homelander, but that shouldn't be the carrying factor. The Boys, if anything, should be the carrying factor, and Homelander should be a treat when he comes on screen, but instead I'm just craving the next Homelander scene, and I think the next season will be 10 times better than this. The setup in the final episode was absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to see what happens with the fallout of Butcher going rogue, with just all that stuff happening, with Homelander essentially being the president now. I think that is going to be really cool, and the final season is set up to be brilliant, but what I really hope doesn't happen is how this season has ended with all the main cast being taken away. I hope we don't fix that in the first episode, because I think this show has a tendency to do stuff like that, where it will end on a cliffhanger like that, and then it will just revert back to we're all back together, never mind, we just did that because. I will say I thought this season had its brilliant additions. I think the smart girl, I can't remember her name now, but the smart one, I think that was a brilliant sort of way to level up the 7. They've always just been a very much brute force, and everybody they add to it has always been a brute force, and so to add her, who brings smarts, who brings plans into it, she was really cool, and I'd love to see her get way more involved. I'd love to see her in a fight of wits against the Boys, and the fact she's got it all planned, and they can't do anything because she's got it all 10 steps ahead. That's what I want to see her play the role as. I want her to almost be like a Charles Xavier type, without the obviously mind control and stuff like that, but she was a brilliant addition. I didn't necessarily love Firecracker's addition. I know she was sort of just supposed to be this satire on Americans and American politics and stuff like that, which I get, but at the same time, I'd rather have a likeable character that actually adds something to the 7, because it doesn't really make much sense for her to be in the 7. I want Starlight to snap. Starlight is a little bit of a pointless character in my opinion this season at least. I think she's gone very much downhill in the sense of what she actually adds to the show, and we've never really seen her actually do much with her powers. She's not really much of a powerhouse, and yet she's made out to be in sometimes. And I want to see her snap. Like, they've sort of hinted at it a few times, but I want to see her just break out of this goody two shoes act and just go apeshit, because I think she has it in her too, and it would be cool as like to see the character go down that dark route and that dark path. Will it happen? I don't know, but I think it would be really cool to see. So overall, season 4 was a little bit of a letdown for me. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Not to say it didn't have its absolutely brilliant moments, because it absolutely did, pretty much all of which involved Homelander, but I will take the season with a pinch of salt, because I know it's probably just a setup for the final season. But in that sense of the word, just condense it down into 4 seasons and finish it off with that one, and don't just drag it out for the sake of dragging it out. Like, I honestly think I enjoyed Gen V more because it was something different. This season just sort of felt like it was copying everything we've done before, and we're going through the same cycle of trying to find something new to take Homelander down. And it almost, like, honestly, it kind of made characters unlikable. Like, towards the end, I didn't like Mother's Milk. I thought it was just a little bit annoying, and I didn't love Butcher. I didn't rate Huey through this season, or Starlight. So essentially, the only one out of the boys that I liked was Frenchie. And then outside of their group, I kind of like the Deep as a character, because he's been on a very weird journey. Homelander I love for all the wrong reasons, but yeah, I don't know. Weird series, but let me know, what did you think of this season? And I will see you next time on the TV Show Club.